Hey, everybody, hey. Ripples in time. Hello, Belinda. Halloween. We're gonna wait for you to clean your house. Just let us know. Hey, Jennifer, Ocean Tide, Dragon. Has everyone heard about Matthew Perry? Has everyone heard about Matthew Perry? Dead. He's dead. Chandler Bing is dead. What? It just came flooding over the hey Peggy, my sweet. Uh it just came over. Matthew Perry. Hey Sarah. Hey Aunt Kathy, I love you. Yeah, and Matthew Perry is dead. I am like he was a year younger than me. All right. Yeah, wait. He drowned in a damn jacuzzi. Hey Rain Girl. Hey T Bird. But they said there was no drugs involved because he used to be holding Gene, how you babe. Hey, yeah, Pint. He used to, Teresa, I'm glad you're feeling better. How's your eye, baby? He used to be on drugs, and then he got better. And I hope he stayed. Hey, don't mess with me at all. Hey, Demetrius. Welcome back. I love your new channel name. I love your new channel name, baby. I'm in shock. Yeah, I'm in shock. Just because I'm 55. He was younger than me. It's so sad. It's so sad. And when I first saw it, I was like, nah, Pammy B. I was like, nah. But I went, yeah. Yeah, they won't know. That's what I thought, T-Bird, too. They can say, hey, Daphne. Yep, Chandler Bing. Um, they can say no drugs were around, but Hey, Miss Christy. It's everybody. I miss y'all during the week. I really do. Hey, Susan, yay! Sour girl. Oh, you know what that reminds me? I know a lot of us know about this Uni. Uni, stop watching TV. I love you too, baby. Uni's watching TV for the first time in years. And if you're watching SVU, you will be, listen, those people get addicted to that stuff. Hey, country girl. Um, I lost you. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. So I know a lot. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry. Don't leave me anymore. Hey, Okie. Missed you. Let me explain the Halloween costume party. So y'all know my mom's been going through it, right? My mom has been going through it. Wednesday morning, her best friend passes away. Shock. She wasn't ill. Obviously, she was, in her 70s, but it was absolutely a godsmack. And so the woman's sons live up in Northern Virginia, and they had told it was, hey Carrie, it was my mom, Nashella was the lady's name, and Margaret. It's three of them. And they went to lunch every Wednesday. They went to shop, and they did all that good stuff. So the boys wanted to meet mom and Margaret at Nashella's home, and they weren't going to be there till 7:30. And my mom can't really drive at night. Plus, she was upset. So, and I didn't get back before 9. There's no way I could have. I could have popped on, but listen, I've had it too. I'm not trying to be. It's like, give me 1 week without something, give me 1 week without something. Hey, Ghost, I love you. My daughter, let me brag on my daughter for just a bit. So she is in Richmond with her school at the Virginia Theater, whatever association, I don't really know. It's all these high schools, right? So they got there, they left Wednesday, they performed Thursday. All of them have to perform a 35-minute play of their choosing, the schools. So they did their play on Thursday. They got a standing ovation from the people watching. Then they went out like through the back, and all the people that were waiting in the little rooms, They got another standing ovation walking out the back. Then they were moving props and stuff where there's not many props. It's like one, two, maybe three or four, maybe three ladders that are used in various ways, and a big podium. And they were going up the escalator, and people were clapping for them. Peggy, you don't have to do that. Peggy, you don't have to do that, but thank you very much. So tonight they found out they get to perform tomorrow. They made it through. There's only 6 high schools made it through to tomorrow. Peggy, I love you. In like a cool way. And they have to perform again tomorrow. My daughter also auditioned for Randolph College. That's here in town. It used to be called Randolph Women's College, but they had let boys in, so they had to change it to Randolph. That's where Catherine went and did a lot of improv and training during the summers. They would put on this workshop, and she won an award there. And so that she got a call back on her audition today. She did it again. Thank you, Ogie. Thank you. And I appreciate you, baby. Thank you. She got a call back. She got to redo it today. So out of the 6 that perform tomorrow, we'll figure out the winners. Only the first 2 go through to another round. So anyway, Peggy, that reminds me. So anybody that has donated to me in the last 2 months, Peggy's a big one, but everybody is let me tell you what you did for me. All right. And I'm not doing this so don't give me any more money. I'm just saying it. This is what you did for me. We got to pay, we had to pay $400 for her to go. Not a problem. So with that money that I got, I paid back the people that, like my mom and stuff, who gave me the money. Hey, Fairy, wait a minute. Monday is Fairy Meadows' birthday. Maybe you didn't know. So hey, Teresa. So that got done. Catherine got new clothes. Catherine doesn't get new clothes. She doesn't like them. She doesn't want them. She got new clothes. I got to take her shopping and get her anything that she wanted to take on this trip. So that's what she did. Her breakfasts were provided, but lunch and dinners were the kid's responsibility. You did that for me. So I can't thank you enough. If you want to know where, ever wondered, it got her, like I said, new clothes, new pajamas, new boots, new jeans, new just anything she wanted, that she needed. I got to go out and buy. I didn't have to effing worry about it. I didn't have to worry about it. So I want to thank you for the peace of mind, because that's really what it is. It I don't have to worry if she has enough money up there. I didn't have to worry that she I think she might like shopping now. I don't know. She used to hate it, but she kind of liked it. Yeah, Peggy, I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I wish I could, but I can't. She's the last one. I thought the other ones were expensive, but who thought that damn theater would be expensive? It's expensive. Why? Plus, my daughter Devin did color guard and softball. So that was kind of a long, my son did football. My oldest daughter she wasn't really into scholastics or any kind of sports. But theater, they're putting on 4 plays this year. All right, we've already done one. I don't know. I think they might be counting the 30. Hey, evil queen. I think they might be counting counting the 35-minute, piece. But we got a lot of plays. And Tex can only wear black. Everything's got to be black. You have to have a black hoodie, pulled up, black jeans, black shoes, black socks. It's very specific. Anyway, hey, Brantley, you my damn love. If I missed you coming in, I'm sorry. I'll catch you. Now, we have before us today the Amityville Murders. Hey, what the fox? It's the Amityville Murders. I'm not even gonna. I might touch on a little bit of the haunted. I don't even know what you call that. I don't know what you call it. A story. I don't know. The real horror of Amityville was absolutely 112 Ocean Avenue. I'll tell you that right now. And almost everybody in it were. You had dinner work Thursday right now. Oh God, I've been there
in like a cool way.
And I've been, not like full, but I've had I think I had one time 5, and it felt like my whole jaw had been shot off. In fact, it probably would have felt better. Just did sports course, art, my youngest course in art, but they wanted. Well, see, all right, let me go back. Catherine kind of she it took her a while to find her footing, right? She didn't really, wasn't really interested in anything, and one of her teachers said you should try out for the school play, and she did, and she got in. COVID hit, no school play. So when she went right. Hey, Quinny, she went up to high school, and well, I'll take that back. When I said she went to Randolph College for a acting work thing, and we had people from New York that came in. They did dancing, they did drama, they did improv, they did anything in that theater, And she found her people. And when she came out of it with an award, mind you, and these people, she walked a little taller. She held her head a little higher, So she found her people. And I told her that you found your people. Thank God. And so she was going to go to a community college for 2 years to get the electives done and then try to get into Randolph. And Randolph was there, and she auditioned. She's fearless. She's effing fearless. That's what I love about her. And she's like, I'll go audition. And she got a call back. And then she, yeah. Who knew? I don't even know where to start, guys. I don't even know where to start. I guess we can start with the family. Peaceful. The DeFeo family. God bless America. I'm going to try not to. Hey, Sarah. I'm going to try not to victimize the victims. But there were very few victims in that house. And I'm going to say that the probably only victims in that house were the younger children. I have a very definite opinion on what happened that night. I have a very definite opinion. You all might not have it. That's what's lovely about this, is that we don't have to have the same opinion, and we don't have to be mad. Yeah, he was an abuser. So what? All right, Louise DeFeo was born Louise Briganti. Her father disapproved of her marriage of Ronnie DeFeo, and I think they eloped or whatever, and he disowned his daughter. And this is the same man who was associated with the Genovese crime family. What are you going to do? He was associated. Ronnie DeFeo's family were associated with the Gambino crime family. So you have these two little darlings getting married, and her daddy said, "Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so." Until Ronnie Jr. was born. And then he, got her back in, loved her again, all that bullshit. Now, what we know is that Ronnie DeFeo Sr. was an extremely violent man. He would beat the living hell out of Louise. I can't believe her dad didn't have him killed. Hey, Mama Cannoli, how you doing? Hey, Squirrel Gang. I did. I've watched him. Squirrel Gang. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, Rain Girl. Yes. And so, yeah. Her dad co-owned a car dealership with another dude. And it was a very, in Brooklyn, it did well. I mean, he had a lot of money. So when Ronnie came, he brought back, Louise into the fold. Ronnie Sr. I'm going to call Ronnie Jr. Butch, because that's what they ended up calling it. Butch DeFeo was about less than 2. And this comes from family. Ronnie Sr. would beat the living hell out of him, smack him against the head, push him. One time he slung the high chair with him in it because he put spaghetti on himself. So from a young age, Butch DeFeo was being molded into hey, Russian doll. Hey, Earth, I love you. Was being molded. So they lived in Brooklyn for a while, up until, let's see, I think it was right after. So we have Louise. Louise, all right. She had Butch. Then she had Dawn, which is a daughter. Then she had Allison. And then she had Mark. All right. So her father, who employed her husband, okay, he bought her 112 Ocean Avenue. Yep. He bought it, not DeFeo. Everything that was in that house, Brigani did it. Everything that was in that house, her father bought it. Let's take a look at some of the stuff in there. You want to? Let's just take a look. I always forget I have slides. Now, look, I'm going to forget stuff, so y'all need to. I'm going to put the link out here in a minute. Sorry, hold on. All right. Well, that's how we have high hopes. Not much. So he bought Louise and the family this, let's see, how many bedrooms did it have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bedrooms. And then she had John, who was 9 years old at the time of his death. Here is a photo of all of the children. Ronnie was, not Ronnie. Butch, all right, was a troubled kid all the way up through his whole entire childhood. He was a bully. He was overweight. He would get made fun of and picked on, so he would fight. His daddy would teach him, you got to fight him, right? Because, hey, and that always works, right? Everybody knows that, Anyway, so every stitch of furniture in that joint, the joint itself, the food, the appliances, Louise's father put in there. Here's a funny one. if she said, "Oh gosh, I need a washing machine," he would buy her 2 washing machines. Her dad. Anything that she needed got doubled. Anything she wanted. So this is there they are. Hold on, let me get y'all on my phone. So we're gonna fast forward a couple of years. So let's get Ronnie's 17 years old. Ronnie gets kicked out of school for his behavior. His parents try to get him to a psychiatrist, and they do for a while. I think it was one of those things where the psychiatrist is really great until they tell you you're the problem. And, that happens a lot. Let me see if I turn this down. Let me get y'all up. Here we go. So this is the family. I mean, not long before. Now everybody talks about these damn portraits. Her father commissioned life-size portraits of them. I don't know if they're life-size or not, but there is the one, that's Louise. These cost about $50,000. Now, if that's what, and I've looked that up several times in several places, $50,000. Here's the 2 girls. Now, these are our portraits. That looks like a photo to me. But, I mean, these were good. There's Mark and John. Here is Ronnie and Butch. Appropriate. Yeah, pouring a drink. And he also, Mr. Brigatti had one made fun of himself. Why wouldn't you? So again, here's the house. I want y'all to see exactly. Y'all, when I asked on YouTube, what's the first thing that you think about when you hear or see Amityville? And I had a lot of different answers. Those windows I go right to those windows. Right to those windows. And then here's the other side. Now that's Ronnie's bedroom. The one with these windows. So Ronnie's bedroom is on the outside here, up there. This is from obviously the kitchen. And this is Dawn's bedroom up here. A lot of people get that mixed up. Or they can't place it.
In like a cool way.
Stop it, Harry Styles. Now, I did find this one photo. I'll show it to you in a second. All right, let me make sure I got everything. Bought the daughter and her end of a house. Yes. That house was also, it's Dutch colonial. It was built in 1925. Some say over a Indian burial ground. Who knows? That's what Elaine Warren said. Anyway, so he had to leave high school. The psychiatrist didn't work out, right? These people fought. This family fought. When I say, I don't mean arguments. I mean this family would fight. DeFeo would beat the shit out of his wife. The wife would yell at Dawn, the oldest. Dawn would yell at Allison, right? And then Ronnie and Butch would fight, and then Butch would jump on Mark. It was an absolute, it was terror. And, Butch would bring his friends in there, and they were like, this is not normal. Oh, what are you talking about? This is not normal. They didn't even want to go in the house because of the dad, because you never knew when he was going to flip. And Ronnie Sr. didn't care who was in the house when he did flip. So that means he came from this shit, I guess. I don't really know. But he was asked to leave school. So here's what the psychiatrist wasn't working out. Here's what they do. They buy him a speedboat. If they thought if they gave him everything he wanted, he wouldn't be angry. They bought him a speedboat. They gave him cash to do anything. He worked at the dealership. He would go in, get off at 12, go meet his friends at a bar and drink for the rest of the night. And if he didn't want to go to work, didn't matter, he still got paid. So, yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work. He ended up stealing a motor from a neighbor, and he got into legal trouble about that. And he was on probation. He didn't care though. He still did heroin. He still did cocaine. He still did marijuana, and he drank a fifth of scotch every day. That's what Butch DeFeo did. So, yeah, not, you know, let me see. Now, what had happened too, I'm going to tell you what led up, the events that led up to this. Way too much. Yeah, he was a full-on addict. He would go through, here's what happened. He had the night deposit one time from his grandfather's car dealership. He got robbed. Oh, he got robbed. Oh, no, he got robbed. Brigani was like so just happy that his grandson didn't get hurt. He wasn't robbed. His dad figured it out, that he had the money. And his dad was holding this over his head. Anything to try to get that kid not to, whatever. So that was, let me make sure I got everything. Yeah, the damn money. That happened. That was leading up to this. Okay. I got everything. All right, here's the build up. Here's another build up. Dawn had her boyfriend. Dawn, a little bit overweight. I have to say this because it's mentioned so much everywhere. And if you look at this, hey, Midnight Baker, you look at this girl, let me pull it back up. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her. There was nothing wrong with her. Beautiful girl. But she had a boyfriend, right? And she was in love, and he loved her. So we're going to take it up to 1974. We're going to bring it all the way up to that. Her boyfriend and his family moved to Florida, and she wanted to go with him. Eventually go down there. And her parents were like, absolutely not. You're never going to, no. So she started getting angry. She hated her mother. All right. I don't think she cared for anybody in that house. Her and Ronnie had a weird relationship. I'm not going to call it anything. It was just very odd. And maybe it was because they were the two oldest kids and they had seen more than the youngest ones. And, I don't know. I don't know. But she was absolutely irate. And she wrote a little song called The Night the DeFeos Died. And she sent it to her boyfriend. The night the DeFeos died. Rick Ocala, whatever, Acuna, whatever. There's a guy wrote a book, and that's the title of the book. It's a ridiculous book, but I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't read it. So we're up to 74. Oh, no, right, but it gets much worse than this. It gets much worse than this. So even though Ronnie and Butch absolutely fist fought every damn day, right? And if you watch the tapes of DeFeo in jail, he said that him and his dad were downstairs. I'll show you. We're downstairs in their family room, and they were playing pool. And I guess mom was down there too. And his dad broke a pool stick, over his head. So here's the playroom in the basement. These are all crime scene photos. Some of these that you'll see have double exposure. I don't know why the official photographer for the police department in Amityville didn't know how to use a camera. But anyway, so there's the sticks. I guess -1 on his head. Oh, there it is. I mean, this was at the time, this was the top of the line, everything they had, obviously. All right, let me see. So look, I mean, that's pretty good little place to hang out. So I think Butch said that happened on November 3rd. On November 3rd, that happened, and he decided then that they had to die. Stick with me. This story changes. This story changes. Oh, please stick with me. Oh, also his mother, when Ronnie Sr. hit Butch over the head, broke the pool stick, his mother yelled and said, "Do it again." And that's when Ronnie says he decided that they had to die. And 10 days later, they did. So that's some of the stuff that was leading up. That was like Dawn's boyfriend, I think, was putting a lot of bad juju in there. Well, that place was already bad juju. The fight, they just fought all the fucking time. The November 3rd pool cue, and then the $20,000 fake robbery from his grandparents' store. Here's the thing, though. I don't think his grandfather would have done a damn thing to that kid. He adored those children. They wanted for nothing. They said they wanted something, off to the shops they went, and they got the best of everything. That's why I have so little respect for DeFeo Sr. because he worked for her dad as the co-service manager. Why you co? Why aren't you just service manager? Because I don't think Bergani trusted him. And then you got Butch there, who went back and forth from clerical to like service department stuff. He was like a gopher. He was 23 years old. Gopher, who got very well paid, whether he went to work or not. But like I said, anytime she wanted something, talking about Louise, her daddy got it, not her husband. Everything that went down his fat gullet, family got, the daddy got it, not him. Unless he wanted to. All right. I'm making sure I got everything. But I got everything. I'm trying not to. All right. Try not to mess up. So let's talk about Butch DeFeo again for a little while. Let me see if I've missed anything on him.
In like a cool way.
Yeah, I had to write this down. It said that Butch stayed overweight until he started taking amphetamines in high school. What's he talking? Yep. He stayed overweight until he started taking amphetamines in high school. That didn't work out well. Yeah, he was using heroin daily, drinking a fifth of scotch, and whatever else he did. They diagnosed him with antisocial personality disorder, displaying little to no empathy for other people. Yeah, that was after the fact. I mean, the psychiatrist, the first one might have been leaning that way, but they, as soon as you call out a parent for their parenting, and that's what's wrong with your kid, usually you don't go there no more. He showed little feelings for his mother and just detested his father. But then you read something that says that his mother overloved him. And then you read something that, but we'll never know. All right. We're going to go to the day, the last day. And I've done this before. In fact, it's still up. I've done the DeFeos before. And I had really forgot how crazy these people are. They were absolutely insane. All of them. I'm sorry. Hey vet girl, how you doing? All right, so we're going to go up to the day. This is November 13th, 1974 at 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, New York. So at 6 a.m., a neighbor was walking his dog, and he noticed something that he had never seen before. Now, mind you, they have lived in this house almost 10 years. They moved in 1965, so they've been there 9 years. This guy had never at all, ever, at 6 in the morning, seen those lights on in the third floor. It so much so that he was like, oh, never seen that before. Never seen it. That was the first thing. At 6:30 a.m., Butch goes to his grandfather's dealership before it even opens, and parks his car right in front of the service, the bays, and goes to sleep. Just goes to sleep. And so when they opened up, they had to wake him up, and Then there's during the day, he starts making big I'm trying to call the house. I'm trying to call the house. Nobody's answering. Ronnie Sr. also didn't come into work. However, Mark, the second boy, I'm just have to go back over. There's no photos of this family. There's one photo that I have that is not these, that are not these portraits, but they are few and far between. You can't find them. So there's Mark. Mark played football, and he had been injured badly. He broke his leg, and some days he had to go to physical therapy. So Ronnie Senior already told everybody, I'm not going to be in tomorrow. Mark's got to go to physical therapy. Nicolina, thank you, my love. Count my nickel, bitch. Count my nickel. So that wasn't a big deal. That wasn't a and I wonder now if that's when Butch chose to do it, because he told everybody he wasn't going to be at work the next day. They'd buy him a day. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, and Mark, like he was in a wheelchair, broken leg. He had to be helped. The house absorbed all that crazy, anyone living there. Sour Girl, I completely agree with you on that. And you don't have to be too out there to know that residuals, all right? If that house has got to be, or had to be, full of residual horror. I don't know what else to say. What else to work when you are terrorized by the people that you're supposed to feel, safe with, when you don't have a safe place. That's not ever going to work out well. That's why I say Ronnie Sr. and Louise built this murder. I'm sorry to say that. I shouldn't. They built this. They worked hard on this. When you have a family that dysfunctional, it takes effort, right? It takes effort. You have to put a lot of anger into it. You got to put a lot of violence into it. You have to put a lot of just terror, right? I mean, some fathers are, I'd rather be respected than loved. Okay, well, you know what? You can actually be loved and be respected. It's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah, that girl. You can go look at it now. I'm going to show you what it looked like then. Go through most of the rooms. Let me warn y'all though. All right, so I'm not going to show any. I'm going to show you the bodies, but and I'll let you know before I do it. It's just it's not up close to them. It's not their mattress after they were removed. It's not after they were turned over, which I've seen, and I don't know why that people will put it out there, but I'm going to show you Pamela, I'm going to show you how they were found. Because there's some, obviously some weird stuff about how they were found. All right, so I don't know what time that morning, Catherine O'Reilly arrived to pick up the DeFeo children for school. She was like it was her week that week, I guess. And she went to the door. Nobody came out. Everybody's car was there except for Butch's. It was seniors and Louise's. And back then they were huge cars. They were all in the driveway, but nobody answered the door when she went up to the door. So she was like, all right, well, she took her kids to school. She came back to 112 Ocean Avenue. She was that, something right. And at 8:40 to try again, no answer. All right, none. No answer. So we're getting there, all right? We're getting there. So Catherine ended up calling around 5 p.m. Again, no answer. So now people are starting to, Ronnie's running around going, I can't get my family on the phone. I don't have my key. She's got to unlock the door. I don't have my key. All around the dealership. And then he left at about 12:01 and went down to Henry's Bar, which is one block up from his house, and met his buddies that were unemployed and bought them drinks all afternoon. What about that? How about that? We know about that. So let's see. Okay, 10:30 a.m. The mailman comes, and he noted that the family dog Shaggy, which was a sheepdog, didn't bark as he usually did. The only time the dog never barked is when they had him tied up in the backyard. But when he went around to the backyard, the dog wasn't in the backyard. So he noted that it was that odd that he mental like the man at 6 that said that's not, he ain't never been up at 6 o'clock. The mailman was like, no, this is not right. That's weird. So yeah, I'd say Butch worked his usual half a day when drinking with his friends down at Henry's Bar. He kept trying to call his family from there and making a deal out of it. And he was setting this up. That's why, we'll get to that in a minute. So Butch leaves Henry's Bar. Hey, Gary, welcome back, baby. He comes back. Oh no, the dog was not killed. I don't know. I can't remember where the dog was though. He leaves around 6, Butch, right? And so I think he breaks into the window. Let me see, because he didn't have a key. I think. Oh shit! I always do that. I think he broke into one of these windows down here in the sunroom. Okay, yeah, look, I forgot about this. Oh, I forgot about that part. Hold on. All right, so here's another leading up to Butch DeFeo got so fucking mad at his dad, he ran upstairs because he loved guns, got a rifle, right? Came back downstairs, put that rifle to his dad's head and pulled the trigger. And it didn't fire. And right after that, they say Ronnie Sr. got real damn religious. I guess he did. Here are 3 kneeling children. This is St. Joseph, I believe, in the middle, holding the baby Jesus. I'm pretty sure. But Ronnie broke into one of these windows to get into the house. Oh, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I want to show you. Hold on. Yeah, I won't do anything to that. Okay. So Butch leaves. Anyway, Butch comes screaming in at 6:30, right? Tells everybody in the bar, quote, you got to help me. I think my mother and father are shot. He's begging people. People are looking at him going, Ronnie, what the hell you doing? He's begging people. He drops to his knees. Oh, no. His best friend Bobby Kilsky, an out of work bricklayer, literally says to him, "You sure they're not asleep?" I can't make that up. And Butch says, "Bobby, you got to help me. My mom and dad are shot." So 5 people run the block up. They got in Butch's car and they ran up there. Bobby, a guy named John Altieri. I don't know these names. Joey Yoswit, Joey. All right. So it was Bobby, John, Joey, Al, and William. William is the guy that owned the bar. And they went the block down within a matter of seconds. So Ronnie is for refusing to go into the house. All right. He's not going to that house. So the other 4, Bobby leading the way because Bobby's familiar with this house, knows where the master bedroom is. He takes off upstairs. And he is met with, literally, they say, the stench of death. So you've had these people laying there for, what, about 18 hours or so? About 18 hours, the bodies have been laying there. And he pushes open the door. All right. Oh, let me go back over here. Hold on. He pushes open the door. And he sees this. All right, get ready. All right. And I mean, these are not going to be. All right. He sees this. That is Ronnie Sr. And under the blanket is Louise. Now and he knows they're dead, right? And then he runs into the boys' room. And this is one of those double exposures but here's Mark, here's his wheelchair. He had to sleep on his back. It's the only way he could sleep, right? But he's found on his stomach. And then we're going to see little John. There's John in his bed. So Bobby has seen 4 bodies. He runs back downstairs. That Joey guy is already on the phone with 911. And he's saying there's 4 dead people here. There's 4. It was 4 because they didn't go look anymore, right? Butch is not going in the house. He's out here in shock. Supposedly, he's in shock. I mean, if you look at this, this has got cannons, clipper ships, and other stuff on this wallpaper. You knew it was a kid's bedroom when you went in there. So, all right. So everybody's out of the house by this time. Nobody's in the house. The police show up, and things get worse. And there is little Allison, 13, in her bed. And see straight through there would go into this. So she I got a diagram I'll show you too in a minute. That's Mark. And up on the 3rd floor, 18-year-old Dawn in her bedroom, which I'd kill for that wallpaper right now. And there they are. Here's the 1st floor or the 2nd floor. And you can see how they bless their hearts.
Like a cool way.
Here is a TV room. I don't know why they didn't use it as a bedroom, but they had a TV. This was their TV room. I don't know. Allison right there. They're the boys. Then you go up the stairs and you have Dawn's room, and here's Butch's out looking. Hers is looking out towards the lake. They have a boathouse. They have everything in there. So let's look at that one more time. All right, there they are. There they are. Now, the police get there. Butch convinces them, was so convincing to the police that a hitman had done this, that they took him to another police station for safekeeping. He told them, he gave it was a guy's name too. It wasn't a real guy, but, and the police were like, oh damn, we gotta keep him safe. His grandfather, though, was on the scene and kept telling him, stop it, stop saying that, right? Oh, his grandfather got very upset. And Ronnie wanted to blame, well, we'll get on that later. His grandfather, I think, finally realized, we might have a problem with Junior there. I love watermelon. So the police get there, and then, of course, we start moving out bodies. And they just kept coming. If you watch some of these documentaries, you have the people that lived around them, and they just kept saying the bodies kept coming out. They just kept coming. Little body bags, big body bags, and they just kept coming. So, can you imagine? And then let's talk about the funerals. I want to get through here. There is no sadder thing than 6 caskets in a church. I had a friend, John Quarles, and I'm one of the people that can say I knew somebody that was taken out in a mass shooting. He lived on a street. He had his daughter. He had his wife. The daughter's boyfriend was there. I think it was a Sunday. And little did they know, up the street there was a huge ass, domestic going on, and so the boyfriend and his daughter, they went up to go see a friend up the street, and John heard shots, right? But didn't think of it because they were like kind of in the country. Then his wife said, let me go up here and see what happened. Heard another gunshot. And he thought, something's going on. He left the house. And they all got picked off. And so that funeral was 3 coffins in one church. And, and you don't forget shit like that. But then I saw this and I thought, oh my, you had all that. Then you have the hearses lined up outside. The caskets being carried in. Come on, are you kidding me? Now, Ronnie has said to the police, I know it was a hitman. Made up this big story about it. Very creative this man is. And so, like I said, the police hide him. Yeah, welcome, Halloween, baby. So to see, how are you doing, love? Then the cops start thinking about it. And they say there's a very strict code of conduct for the Italian mob. All right. Killing families and wives and families is not in that doesn't happen. It does not happen. And if y'all think about it, Peggy, we're going to get on that. I don't know. Literally, Butch DeFeo talked his way into, he's so dumb. He, by the next day, had confessed to killing all of them. All of them. And they were like, "Shit, well, there you go." He said, "I killed them all. Once I started, I couldn't stop." And it went so fast. So fast. So we have Butch and chains, right? I mean, because dummy doesn't know what I mean, I ain't saying he probably should shut his mouth, but you know what I'm saying. You feel me? It's like dumbass. He's the dumbest criminal I've ever seen in my life. So here he is being led in and out of, jail. He's coming out of jail. They've got him. I mean, he has said it. He told his grandfather, though. He started to change his story. Here's the great part. Here's the great part of Ronnie DeFeo Jr. He changes his story, and then he changes it. He said, you know what? Wait a minute. I didn't kill them all. That was a mistake. My mom killed them all. My mom killed them all, and I had to kill my mom so that my grandfather wouldn't be upset. My hand to Jesus. Hey, peace. He told, and his father kept saying, his grandfather said, stop it. Then he said that Dawn killed them all. That she was bitching and hollering and moaning on about the parents, and he went upstairs and he got his gun and he loaded it up for her and he handed it to her and said, go do it. She said, what am I supposed to do with this? He said, it's loaded. Go do what you got to do. She killed the mother and the father. Okay. So he says he has to leave. I got to go. Listen, I got to go. We got to figure out how we're going to get the younger kids out of here, because a gun fired 4 times at 3:15 in the morning, which produces 140 decimals, didn't wake up those kids. He goes to drive around. He comes back. Dawn's killed them all. She's killed all of them. And he runs upstairs to her room and goes, Dawn. And she turns the gun on him. And he says, quote, she was a big girl, so we had to fight. And he gets the gun. And he pushes her on the bed and he shoots the gun and kills her. It gets better. So when we go to trial, right, they're trying to do the insanity defense. And he's kind of upset about it, but he is kind of insane. But the judge said, listen, basically, you knew enough to hide the gun, because he threw the gun off the jetty over there you knew to hide. You hid your clothes, you hid your gun, you threw it in the water, you made up the story all day of trying to call him. You're not crazy. You knew you did something bad. So he gets convicted. Then he finally breaks down and says, yeah, I killed them all. I killed every one of them. 6 concurrent life sentences. But we have to ask ourselves a question. Not one neighbor heard this happen. A neighbor heard the dog bark at 3:15, but not. I'm going to show you how close the neighbors are. Because you see this house is on sideways, y'all. All right. Let me go down here. Let me show you. Hold on. I'll find it. Come on, baby. All right. Here we go. There's the house in respect to the other houses. So it's November. There are no leaves on the trees for the sound to go through. Your neighbor is that close to you. You fire that gun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in that house. 8 times. 140 decimals. And nobody wakes up. None of your neighbors. You could have heard it 5 blocks away, but they didn't hear it right up there. But they heard a dog bark. This is where things start getting a little weird to me. Here's too, you can see another kind of how they are, another view of it from the ground. That's a bedroom. It's got to be a bedroom. That's a bedroom. These are bedrooms. This one over here, I think, is the, no. I'm trying to the TV room. I don't even know. That might not be it. But okay, so this is how close they are, and not one neighbor hears nothing. So that's where. Hey, Coco, how are you, Coco? Then we have to put Dawn into play, and I'm going to tell you why we have to put Dawn into play. On Dawn's nightgown, they found unburned gunpowder. No, he didn't, Rain. He didn't use a silencer. Nope, he didn't. She had unburned gunpowder on her gown. How'd that get there? She would have to have handled the gun. And then so the police and the like criminologists said, well, if she could have touched her, maybe she grabbed, well, she was found face down, as was everyone else, even Mark, who couldn't turn over because he had a cast on his leg. So now we have everybody in that house. One, they didn't wake up, supposedly they didn't wake up when it was fired in their house 8 times. So did he move them? Well, trajectory. Let's see. Let's go through the body. Let's go through the injuries. Let's go through the injuries. Ronnie Sr.'s injuries. Like I said, I could show y'all some nasty. Hey, Enlightened Rogue! He was shot twice in the lower back. One bullet exploded his kidney and exited his right nipple into the bed, all right, or onto the bed. It was laying under it. The other entered the base of his spine and lodged in his neck. He could have been alive a few seconds to a few minutes after being shot. The waistband of his shorts were like pulled down a little bit, which means he might have lifted up, pushed him. Hey, Southern girl, might have pushed himself up while or as he was being shot. Louise was also shot twice. Both parents shot twice. The bullet entered her right flank and chest. All right. One bullet landed on the mattress, again under her, and the other came out in the middle of her chest, re-entering her left breast and then wrist. The bullet shattered her ribcage, she had splintered bone, and destroyed most of her right lung, her diaphragm, and her liver. Although face down, her chest was slightly raised in the bed, and her body was turned to the right, which means she could have looked him in the eye, probably. And I don't know. They didn't really give a time on her death. Let me see. Oh, she could have been alive up to 10 minutes. Hey, Freeside. So if you're alive for 10 minutes, what do you do? Well, you're dead. You're getting ready to die, so you're not going to move around a lot. But she could have been alive up to that. So you just lay still? I mean, could she not move? I don't know. I don't even know. I pray she wasn't. So Mark and John pretty much had the same injuries, shot in the back one time at close range. The ME determined that the killer stood between the beds and was less than 2 feet from each boy. Let's see. The bullets penetrated the liver, diaphragm, lungs, and the heart of each boy. John's spinal cord was severed. The bullets were found in the box spring. Now, why I mentioned that John's spinal cord was severed is that when his spinal cord was severed, it would make your legs are going to twitch if they sever your spinal cord. It's just one of those things. Ronnie said, well, Butch said that his legs moved. Well, that means you were there when he was shot. Your sister didn't shoot. He always maintained after this that Dawn killed the children. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. He didn't do it. He loved Allison. He had really horrible things to say about his, like, one time he said, yeah, I killed them. They were so gross, I had to share a bathroom with them. They're nasty. Well, you and Dawn had a bathroom upstairs. What do you mean you had to share one downstairs with the boys? You had one your own upstairs. He said that he would tell Dawn, ask Dawn to turn the music down, and she'd get all shitty with him. So that's why he decided to kill her. Allison, he never said one bad thing about. Nothing. Never about Allison. That probably had to bother him. I think in his mind, maybe that's how. All right, so let's talk about Dawn and Allison. So let's go over Allison's. She was shot once in the face from less than 2 feet away. She may have turned around. They think her and the mother were probably awake. I think they were all awake. The bullet entered her left cheek, moved to her right ear. Then it tore into her brain and damaged her skull. The bullet exited, ripped through the mattress, and hit the wall behind the bed. Dawn. Let me bring this up. Dawn had the worst injuries. And I'm just going to bring up this little, hold on. Come on. God, I loaded a lot of pictures. Here's Dawn in her bed. Now, remember, Ronnie said that they got into a fight with the gun. They struggled. He pushed her, right, on the bed and fired a shot. So Dawn was shot in the back of the neck from 2.5 feet away. The bullet entered just below her left ear and blasted through her left temple into her pillow. The left side of her face collapsed. Brain particles mixed with blood splattered her pillow. I need y'all to, for a second, look at that headboard. That's a white headboard. I don't see any brain matter on it. No, the headboard. Yeah, she's covered. All of them were covered up. Except for if she had a catastrophic head injury that made her face collapse, and it did. I've seen the pictures. There's not one drop of blood on that white headboard. And they said it got on her pillow, but none on the headboard. So that's weird. There's a lot of things that aren't right. Are they demonic? I don't know. I know that a whole neighborhood of people, 4 neighborhoods deep, didn't hear 8 rifle shots go off at 3:15 in the morning, but they heard a dog. I don't know why everybody in that house is on their stomach, even Mark, who couldn't turn over. I don't know why. Yeah, there's no blood spatter. There's none. Right. So the one of the guys, one of the criminal, whatever the hell he was, said, listen, I think they were all moved. Well, okay. And he thought that they'd used different rifles, different guns. It was more than one. There's no way. He said it in court. There's no way. There was more. There was no, one shooter. It had to be more. It had to be more. He said it. To this day, believes it. Well, he might be dead by this day. My thing is, nope. They did bullet, the trajectory and all that other. It came from Ronnie DeFeo's gun. Every single, they were all those all those shell casings, all in the he left in the house, are from that gun. One gun, his gun. So there weren't more than one. Even if that would even make sense. I don't even know if that would even make sense. So now they were moved. Why is it okay? If they were shot elsewhere and moved, and that if they were shot somewhere else in that house, there would be a blood trail. There would be a crime scene in the bathroom or in the hallway or whatever. He didn't kill him and then turn him. He couldn't have, I don't understand. I think Dawn did some of these. I do. I really, really, really do. And I think he just couldn't have that at the end. Maybe it was, but if she were not killed in her bed, where was she killed? He admitted that he took a shower, after it and got rid of the clothes. But where was she killed? Because she won't kill in that bed, not with that head injury and not without anything on that beautiful, pristine, white headboard. There is no way. There's no way it got on the thing. What do you think? Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me go up. Brantley. It seems as though Butch and the sister. That's what I think. That's what I think. It don't make no sense. Everybody on their back, unless he told them that, right? Get on, flip on your back. He was going to have to help Mark. Mark couldn't do it. Mark had a damn cast down was bad enough. In the 70s, that thing, no, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Not one neighbor heard one thing. Never. Nothing. The police went and asked every one of them. No. Oh, I heard the dog barking at 3:30 or 3:15. Really? Did you hear the 8 shots that went off after that? No, didn't hear that. I don't know about that. Then the criminologist thinks that everybody was shot, so elsewhere and moved. Okay. Where's the damn crime scene? Then I can't make that any bigger. I mean, I can, but I certainly don't know. If I do, it's going to blow this whole thing up. I've seen these. Everybody in that house turned over. I've seen everybody in that house turned over. I think Mark, they say, might have gripped his sheet. It was like in there. Exactly, Brantley. And you're going to hear it 8 times. And you're going to hear it if you are that close to those houses. Like I said, I can't, when I saw the house, I knew that obviously everybody knows that the thing, hey, Deborah, the house was turned because the lot was long and, that's how they did it in 1925 when it was built. But I never, until I saw, let's see, I'll bring it up again. Until I saw that this picture of that is so damn close. That is so close. And you got to think, he shot on each corner of that house, well, except for one on the bottom, and both sides of that house. So if he would have been up here, it'd have been up there, it'd have been over here, it'd have been over there. I don't know. But then I look. All right, so let's take a look. This is them. This is all of them. Something other than that stupid ass, these stupid portraits. You kind of see them, there's Mark. Mark was, what's the boy? There's the babies. Here is Ronnie's room. Here's the gun, the box the gun came in. He's brilliant. He went up and got the gun out of the box. Left the box. Killed everybody. Left the box. Here's where he threw on his way to work. He opened up her grate. There's a thing for the gun. There's a holster. There's some bullets. I think there's some clothes in there too. Not a brilliant guy. Okay, now this is something that freaks me out. Let me show it here. I've never seen this in my life. They are stacked up in this grave. You have Louise, Dawn, and Allison over here. In the middle, you have Ronnie, Mark, and John. All right. Because I thought, oh, well, they probably cremated them. No, I showed y'all from the funeral. They did not cremate them. They're in there. Never seen that before in my life. I don't know nothing about it. I went through here. All right, now I want to show you a picture of, this is Dawn. Dawn over here. Louise, and there's Mark. And look at her holding on to her children's hands. That got me the first time I ever saw it, and it gets to me now. Her holding on to them like that. And them holding on to her. And I forgot who this girl is. I have no idea who she is. I can't remember. Ain't a very lucky lady. Yeah, is it? All right. There you go. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. What is going on? And then I'm going to show you the house real quick. I'm going to go through the house. And I'm going to go through the house because I'm nosy and I went through the crime scene photos and they had the best of everything. I mean, they had the best of it. She left him one time. She left her husband once, Louise. And he wrote her a song, and some jazz singer actually recorded it. And it was a pretty big. Here are the steps. They had those portraits hanging up on the steps going up. And I think up here is the boys. Louise's might be hanging maybe in the house somewhere. But you know what I wonder? Let me. Where are those portraits right now? Hey, Anna. I wonder where those portraits are. I don't even know where did their clothes go. Their father, I guess, I owned the house. I don't know if he put it in their name, and obviously Butch, I don't think was the next of kin. So I wonder where those portraits are right now. They're somewhere, I think. Where did all the clothes go? Where did all the everything go? This house was, pretty. So on the 14th of November, Louise was supposed to come down those steps, and she was supposed to go right there into her kitchen, and she was going to put a kettle on or whatever, make some coffee, and she was going to start breakfast probably. And here's her little breakfast nook. And she was going to get her kids up. Look, she left that, and I bet she's like, if my grandmother ever died with a plate and sink sheet. There's a little TV. That's her little kitchen. Here's the dining room. How many fist fights you think that dining room's seen? I don't know, more than enough, I think. Here's the 1.5 dishwashers. Her father. There's another shot. Oh, there. And there's another. Here's little Allison's room. She had 2 dressers. There's a puzzle over here somewhere. Oh, shoot. Get back in there. Get back in there. So that's little Allison's room. Here's the living room. Here's more double exposure. But there, look at that. That's a beautiful piano. Another double exposure. I'm telling you. I hope they fired this guy after this. There's the steps. Here's one of the landings. I mean, this is. Let's see. Oh, these are crime scene. So she apparently had tossed, or somebody had tossed some towels down the steps. And there's one right there. We'll get into the crime scene. They're not. I mean, there's nothing. Most of these are. What I told y'all. What she told her dad that she didn't need a wash machine, so he sent her two. That's proof of it right there. Just a little look into somebody's life. This is the sunroom. Now the house has got a sunroom on both sides, but this was the one that was under Butch's, on that face of the street, and they had a wet bar put in it. I don't know what I have to think about that. And there's the wet bar with the, I guess, one of those. All right, and we've already seen the basement, so. All right, we've already seen the basement, so I'm going to. Oh, shoot. I'm going to put the link in to the chat. And y'all can tell me if I forgot something, because I probably did. I always do. I'll finish one of these and I'll go, oh shit. And it's because I don't read my notes. I don't read my notes. So, I mean, why would I read notes? That's dumb.
In like a cool way.
Only wussies read notes. Even though I spend all week on them, I don't read them. All right, there we go. Now, if I don't know you, I might not let you up. So you might want to porn bomb me. So let me do this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm trying to get a little bit bigger. All right. There we go. Right. Art, yeah. And except for the double exposure queen, or whatever she was. I mean, how can you not do that? How do you do that many times? DeFeos are going in the drawer. The DeFeos are in the drawer. In the drawer. I got to go buy some folders. All right, my drawer's getting huge. There's my uni woony. Hello, my love.
Hi.
What are
Hi,
you doing?
Shannon.
I love you.
I'm watching you. I love you. You hear me?
I can.
Okay. This was like so interesting. You know what? I've always been scared of this story.
Mm-hmm.
This and The Exorcist kind of thing, which I know The Exorcist is so made up, but this is real. And this is why it scared me, because it's actually real. But you told it so well that it's so interesting to me now.
I appreciate that.
No, it's like you're a really good storyteller, like really good. And like I completely stopped what I was doing. I was watching, as you know, SVU, and I turned it off, and I've been just sitting here in my bed listening, and I was like, this is amazing.
That means
really good.
That really means a lot, because I put a lot in these things. I put a lot. Thank you, Halloween baby. I put a lot of time into these things.
You can tell. It's really good.
But I like, I love doing. I got to figure out what next week's mystery is. I don't know what it's going to be.
I'm sure whatever you do is going to be good. Oh, you know what I was going to say?
What?
You know how you were talking about the positioning of the victims?
Yeah.
What I said in the chat was, I think that the reason why he did it that way was because he was ashamed. And then, how some people, when they're like a serial killer, they do things for some reason. And maybe the reason why he did that is because he didn't want to look at them directly in the eyes.
What I think. There's a lot that went on there. I think Dawn had unfired, gunpowder on her. Welcome for a month. Thank you for a month, Ocean Tide. I can't find. Can you type it again, Drag? Because I can't find it. She had unfired gunpowder on her, so she handled a gun that night while she was wearing that gown. That's scientific. That's not me. That's not speculative. Here's what, like last week we did this girl Maura Burry that went missing 20 years ago. So
Right.
we have facts that we know. There were not a lot of facts, but there are certain facts that we know. And then we have people with opinions. And I always think, all right, does this statement they're making stay in line with the facts that we know, right? I mean, it's got to.
Yeah, that's fit in.
These conspiracy things that end up not having a lot to do with the actual facts.
Right.
In this case, there's real questions. How does she get that unfired, shit on her?
The gunpowder.
Nobody woke up. Nobody in the house apparently woke up. If you believe the crime scene, nobody woke up. I don't think you can believe the crime scene. But
I have a question.
Waking up. I mean, he told the police, "I've drugged them all." Well,
that's what I was going to ask.
They didn't even. They took the blood, the urine, and they even took their organs and tested them. There was nothing. He did not do that. So, there's a lot of. He's answered a lot of questions. The questions that are not answered are, how the hell do your neighbors, and y'all saw the house, it's closed. How do you, even if it wasn't, I don't know how you don't know.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Like you said, just wanted to know your opinion. I think Dawn helped him. I think Dawn, or either I think Dawn touched that gun. There's no way around it. Unless, wore that gown for 3 or 4 days, which I don't think she did. She touched that gun. That's a fact. So we have to go with that fact that she touched that gun.
Right. I got another question.
What?
So, okay, the fact of the matter is that the neighbors didn't hear the gunshots. So we saw that the walls and the flooring were all wood. So that's going to be an echo on top of that. The walls, was any room padded? Any room have padding?
No, they were all wood. I think maybe the upstairs. I think the upstairs was padded. Was up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there the third floor. I mean, not the second floor, the third floor.
So could he have killed them in that room? But see, there was no dragging.
There was no dragging. There was no. He wouldn't listen. We're trying to, with a rational brain, figure out what an irrational brain is doing.
Right.
And so we can't really. But he's Squirrel Gang. Squirrel Gang. So, but was he irrational? He knew exactly what he was doing. He executed it, pardon the pun, perfectly, because not one, he didn't use a muzzle. There's no muzzle, no silencer. He said he drugged them, but he didn't. They went so far as to take the organs, and not just the urine and the blood. So we can only, you can't trust his truth. We have to trust the very little bit that we know. And how they get on their stomachs, we're not ever going to know. That he died in 2021. So we're not ever going to know. We're not ever going to know from that brain, anyway, of what happened. Right. It's just one of those things that we're not ever going to know. As far as like the haunted part of it, and I know. That's what I hope people didn't think that I was going to do that, because the real horror was what happened before.
Exactly.
Those,
exactly. That's the nightmare.
There is, all right. So Ronnie Jr. had a lawyer, all right, for his trial. And
that's the nightmare. There is. Hey, Squirrel.
That lawyer hooked up with another lawyer that knew the Lutzes. All right, so that's a connection right there. So then the Lutzes, who have the lawyer who knows that lawyer, they move in, they do this they tell this story, they come, whatever. Who's making money? Everybody's making money. The lunches are making money. The author's making money. The studio's making money. Everybody's making money. You know who's not making money? DeFeo, sitting in jail. He ain't making no money. So that's get real angry and like that was, that he would even say, I'm the horror. I'm the horror. And he won't wrong. I know, he won't wrong. But then he didn't do it. In the same interview, he would talk about doing it, and then he would turn around and say, I didn't do it. It was
you know what? No. You know what? Not to steer away from the subject, but he reminds me of that girl we had up on Jenny Jen Jen tonight. You could change the story 50 million times.
Yeah. In the middle of a story, they changed their story.
Right.
Let's say that there was no demons in the house. Right. He got kind of upset about this whole bullshit with even though he said, this was another one of his stories, that he had done a lot of heroin and had a lot of drinking, done a lot of drinking. He was in that TV room that I showed you on the second floor, pretty much passing out. And that a figure in a long black robe handed him the gun and said to kill everybody.
So that's death, supposedly.
Here's the funny part. He then said that was Dawn. Now here's a weird part. There is a conspiracy about these people. And that conspiracy theory is that Ronnie was being watched by the DEA because they thought he was running drugs in a speedboat. So they were outside of his house. Stay with me. This is actually a story. So they were watching the house. Dawn had they called it it's some kind of coat. I can't remember. It's a weird name. Anyway, a black, long, coat with a big hood. She had that coat. The neighbors said they saw her in that coat all the time. All right, so the DEA agents that were sitting outside, this is Aiken Island. This is no joke. They saw Dawn walk out of the house wearing that coat and holding that gun. And getting in the car and driving up the street and letting it and putting it in the ocean. So Dawn was the one in the coat. He was just coming off heroin or whatever. This is an actual conspiracy. There's a book about it. It's ridiculous. Wow. That did not happen. So the DEA agents didn't hear any shots either. Because that's how Ronnie was. Ronnie would say, one of his stories was that he gave Dawn the gun and said, go at it. He was outside, in the driveway, not down the street, in the driveway. And she came outside. She came outside, and he went in the house, and he said the mom and dad were dead, the boys were dead, and Allison was dead. He's in the driveway and couldn't hear the damn shots. He couldn't hear the shots. It didn't enter his brain. That a lot of stories he told. He said that one of his friends brought a couple over, and the couple did it. I mean, I'm telling you, there's so many stories that he made up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so many stories that he made up that it just became.
He was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, wasn't he?
Do what?
I said he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, he was. I think in his formative years, those drugs, I think
ate at his brain.
His dad. I think he had one too many shots to the head from that dad. I think if you put heroin and alcohol, because all of his friends would say Ronnie's a great guy until he drinks. And he's always drinking. I mean, he's a great guy until he starts drinking, and he's always drinking. So
I know a couple people like that. I know a couple people like that.
I mean, exactly. So I don't, plus you think 23, he had no work ethic. He couldn't value money, because when you always have it and it's always thrust on you, you don't have an appreciation for it, especially when you don't have to work for it, or when your grandfather will give you anything that you want. There was a lot of people to blame. The grandfather, sorry. The parents, there was a lot of people that kept trying to throw money at a problem that money went. Hey, Jeannie, money was never going to fix it. It was
Yeah.
never going to fix it. In fact, it's what festered in that damn house. And it
He
was
felt like he was untouchable. He was untouchable. That's what it
yes,
was.
he stole $20,000 from his damn grandfather. And
Oh
you
no,
know,
you gotta go.
grandfather, I really think his grandfather knew he did it, but just didn't say anything. So you got this big
Right.
mob guy, right? Who can't control a 23-year-old grandson? Come on now. Come on now. So it's a very interesting story. The murder, like I said, the murder, that's the horror.
Yeah.
Do I think that house soaked up just evil? Yeah. I don't know what happens when the house does that. I don't know what happens.
Well,
It's
like
got
Sour Girl was saying, it like you just said, it just encompasses all of that evil. And where
yeah,
does it go? Energy does not go away. It just
no,
doesn't.
it does not go away.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what, everybody else that's lived in that house has never had a problem.
Yeah.
So what I don't know anything about the families that moved in. They must have probably, hopefully, been very loving and kind of tried to equal it out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Now,
think
did you say?
that house wasn't at peace. So nobody
No.
in it was at peace.
Did you say it was? I think when you first opened up, you said it was built on a Native American burying ground,
Yeah,
correct?
that is what Eileen Warren,
Mhm.
Ed and Eileen Warren, the famous ghost psychics who took that infamous picture with the little boy. Some of their psychics said that it was an Indian chief in the yard, and he was upset because they built the house and all the houses around him on a Indian burial ground. That's the premise for the Amityville horror.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't believe it. No, Brantley. I might not. Let me see. I don't believe all of it. I think there's no way. All right. So the Lutzes move into that house. This happened in 74. I believe they moved in 76, 77. I can't remember because it was November of 74. So, Ronnie's Junior's trial was pretty quick. Getting him into court and getting it, done. And then they moved into it. You have to think, all right, so that place was soaked in blood. All right. And it was closed up when everything came out. I think the dad or whoever left the electricity on, so the heat, so it wouldn't interwebs happen.
So it wouldn't stink so bad.
They walked in, that thing is ripe, and
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, they obviously they did. I'm going to say I don't know. Yeah, they did. They walked into a house that was absolutely ripe and festering.
Oh.
And
did you say Eileen was psychic? Isn't that the lady that was on Montel Williams show?
You thinking about Sylvia Brown?
Oh yeah, that's her name. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they The Conjuring. If you look up The Conjuring, that's her and her husband, Eileen. I think it's Eileen. They went hunting a lot of ghosts and apparently found them.
Lord.
Peggy. Well, listen. I've been at this how long? 4 hours. I'm just kidding.
One hour and a half. Yeah, you've been doing it.
Like when I usually don't like to go over an hour and a half because Lorraine, thank you, Brantley. All right, thank you. It's Lorraine Warren. Lorraine. Right. I like to do it like right an hour and a half.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get down.
I'm so glad that you came, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I did. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I love you, and thank you for bringing this to us. This is great.
Thank you.
All right. See you later.
All right, love.
Hey, you look great, by the way. You look great.
Thank you.
All right. See you later.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Yeah, Peggy, right? I think she got found out as being a fake. So look, guys, Peggy, thank you everyone for thank you for super chats, and Peggy, God, I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to do the thing where I'm gonna have to come up with the next week's tonight or tomorrow. I really didn't have time to do it. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I appreciate that so much. This is a good, that's a good case because there's enough facts there that you don't have to. I love you, Peggy. I love you all. My husband and my son have been in Martinsville today for the race. They're going to go back tomorrow for the race. So they just came in, and I'm going to run up there and see. Yeah, y'all have a great night. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it so, so much. I'll figure out the next week's tonight or tomorrow, and I'll put it on my community post. If you have one you like, hey, Ronnie, if you have one that you want me to do, put it in the comment section, and we can get it done. All right. I love you. Be safe. I'll see you very, very soon. Okay. Great. Love you. Bye.